Well, howdy there, Internet people, it's Belle again. So today, we're going to talk about Trump's menu for Venezuela. All indications suggest that Trump has been given a menu of options for Venezuela. Generally, this is one of the final steps before operations commence. We talked recently about how certain military assets being moved to the region greatly increase the chance of operations inside Venezuela. When questioned about the situation on Air Force One by reporters, Trump said, quote, "I sort of have made up my mind. Yeah, I can't tell you what it would be, but I sort of have." It's Trump, so under normal circumstances, this wouldn't mean much. However, the reporting suggests Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Dan Kane, briefed the president on his options for operations related to Venezuela. That is said to have occurred on Wednesday. Then on Thursday, it sounds like the full national security team met with Trump in the Situation Room. These are all bad signs for those who would like to see the U.S. avoid an elective war. The menu likely included strikes on illicit substance production facilities or transportation routes, strikes on military and government facilities, or direct strikes on leadership. Hopefully, there's somebody in the room playing the 10th man and reminding people that just because assets are in place, that doesn't mean they have to move forward. Assets in the region include roughly 15,000 military personnel, a fleet of warships, and specialized aviation units, beyond the strike aircraft widely known to be present. Realistically, the 15,000 isn't enough for a full-scale invasion. But given close proximity, the forces present could be used to pave the way for forces still stateside. The rumor mill says the chicken and waffles Trump is maintaining his habitual reluctance and is kind of wishy-washy about the whole thing, which for once is actually good news. Hopefully, he'll consider the polling that says only 29% of Americans said they supported the current strikes without the involvement of the courts. If the American people don't support the low-level strikes, the odds of them supporting large-scale operations is slim. There's also reporting that suggests the administration has held in-depth discussions about attempting to simply convince Maduro to leave the nation and go to Turkey, Russia, or Cuba, with safe passage guaranteed by the U.S. That certainly sounds like the administration is considering a political realignment operation, which is only separated from a regime change operation by the amount of mess and loss that occurs along the way. Even when experts set aside the concerns about the lack of necessity for an operation, they are still worried that the Trump administration isn't actually up to this, and that any of these operations could create a situation where the power vacuum is filled by any of the well-funded and well-armed non-state actors in the country or in neighboring countries. It's worth noting that some of those we talked to are sarcastically calling it the Epstein invasion to highlight how unnecessary it is. But they seemed relieved there was at least some attempt, no matter how ill thought out, to consider potential fallout and an exit strategy. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.